The spate of drug abuse among young persons is drawing the concern of government at all levels and critical stakeholders. Now, despite series of arrests and prosecution by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the menace is yet to reduce, while key players across the sector say advocacies through sensitization and collaboration with schools, religious and non-governmental organizations may be a step in the right direction. But in Delta, the government, through its State Orientation and Communications Bureau, is partnering with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency to mount Drug-Free Delta campaign in selected secondary schools across the 3 senatorial districts. And for more on this, I'm being joined now in the studio by the Director General of the Delta State Orientation and Communications Bureau, Fred Lattimore. Good to have you on the news at this time. So talk to us more about this partnership between the Delta State government and the NDLEA in sensitizing the youth, particularly about drug abuse.
Yes, it started when, you remember, in July last year, 2-year-old boy was killed during the interface between the NDLEA and some drug sellers in Delta, Ivan and Erubusele. And that really pains the governor. And he decided to look at that direction critically. So he summoned a meeting of the NDLEA, and they briefed the governor that this is a serious business and that there's even prevalence among the youths, up to about 80% of abuse in Delta. So he mandated the Bureau to step up sensitization campaigns. And in doing that, we had to meet with the NDLEA to draw up these strategies. Apart from the NDLEA, we're also partnering with the National Orientation Bureau, NIOA, in Delta, because they have an office in Delta. And the State Director, Mrs. Tracy Kolomi, is also part of this campaign. Then in Delta, we have Commander Wada Abubakar for land, who is the State Commander. And we also have Anne Okebo, who is in charge of seaports. So both the sea and the land, NOA and my agency, we are coming together for this campaign to take it to secondary schools across the 3 senatorial districts. And when we are done with that, then we will look at how we will now cover the higher institutions. But we just want to catch them young at the college level, because at that college level, we are still hopeful that we can get to, get some of these children out of drug. At that level, what we hear, the reports we get from these colleges, is tramadol, cough syrup, and to some extent, marijuana. So that is, we can curtail that. But the issue of the other illicit drugs like cocaine, heroin, they are not into that yet, because that those ones are quite expensive. So if we're able to talk to them and get them out of drug completely, then the problem would have been half solved.
Yeah, it's good. This campaign is coming about, especially for the young ones, so that they are well sensitized, informed on the dangers of, hard drugs, if at all they can take it without any, well, not for them to take it at all. But looking at, will I say, the root cause, because sometimes it could be due to peer pressure, it could be, mental disorders, as some would say. But are you looking at that other option, apart from just sensitization, to address the root cause where young ones are prone to, drug abuse, for instance? Yes,
we discovered that some of the youths just want to be high, okay? High for party and stuff like that. And others, maybe out of frustration, idleness, maybe you're out of school, no job or stuff like that can make you unhappy. And that is why the governor took further steps to create a lot of employment windows that we can take this youth out of the streets. We have the Bureau for Job and Work Creation that has taken over 250 young people from the streets. What we do is that we train them and then give them starter packs, and they'll be able to monitor and mentor their businesses for them. Then there are other group of persons during the COVID period and economic hardship and the rest. Out of frustration too, some people went into drugs. So what the government has also done is to inject money into helping small-scale businesses. And that we do that through the care program, through the Ministry of Women Affairs, and also through the Bureau for Work and Job Creation. And also, we discovered that this Yahoo business thing that is now very common with the youth, is also another problem, because we discovered that root of all crime is rooted to drugs, armed robberies, kidnapping, rape. All of these are influenced. Yes, they are influenced by hard drugs, and that is why we want to take it to the colleges so that we can get the youths out of this. Then also that these Yahoo boys, they now came up with this funny idea that education is scam, and that you spend so many years going to school, now you are out, no job, and all of that. So they try to recruit these young ones into drugs and then maybe sell this idea of Yahoo to them. So the NDLEA is cracking on that. There is some red spots along Okpanam Road in Asaba where that incident of Ivan and Erusele happened. That place has been cleaned up now. What the governor has also done is that recently he acquired about 40 trucks, Hilos trucks, for security agencies to be able to patrol the state capital and also in the local government level. At that point, Hilos vans were also given to NDLEA, okay, to enable them, monitor and track some of these operations. Now, what we have discovered is that the consumers are just mainly, they are victims, okay? The real people the NDLEA are really after are the drug sellers and the traffickers. While we prosecute the drug sellers and the traffickers, we concentrate on rehabilitating the users, especially the young ones. So the governor has also invested in that aspect. We are about completing the rehabilitation center in Kwale. That one is quite massive. While we are rehabilitating, we also introduce these skill acquisition programs, into that rehabilitation process. So as you are being rehabilitated, the government is giving you skills, and after you have acquired those skills, then we can now start a new life by opening a fresh business for you.
Right.
Yes.
You've said
we also have another rehabilitation center in Agbo. That one is also powered by Yumata Foundation of the Wives of the Governor. She's very much interested in this issue too, because a lot of young ladies too are into this drug stuff. So the wife of the governor has also invested in that aspect. She's taking part of the Agbo Center, that she's also doing something great there.
Absolutely. You've said a lot, and you said so much that the government is doing in terms of sensitizing the young ones. But then again, one would begin to ask, what is the sustainability plan? Because it is one thing to say, this is the plan, this is what we want to do, but how are you doing it? What are the sustainability plan, to ensure that this is not just a one-off thing, but it is handled and it's also passed on to the next agency or the next government or administrations, as it were? What is the plan for it?
We have a focused plan. When you are engaged and you are happy, you really don't think about crime. So this job creation and empowering our youth is going to be a continuous program. Secondly, we also have wider clubs in colleges now that work against drug abuse, and we are doing that with the NDLEA. Like this campaign we are doing, in every college where we do this sensitization campaign, we have discussed with the school principals to establish the wider club. The wider club will come with a lot of packages, quiz competition, essay writing, and all of that. And we award, the state government will award prizes, and then we keep talking to the student. Then we give them mentors. We appoint mentors there's a program in the bureau, a day with your mentor. We bring personalities who have made it, and then they come to explain to you that they got to where they are because they didn't do certain things. And one of the things they didn't do is drug. So the sustainability plan is to continue to empower our youth. Then the message will continue. The wider club will be there. And we also have jingles running on radio and TV stations in the state, telling people about the effects, the negative effects of hard drug.
Right, and that's where we have to leave it. Thank you so much, Director General, Delta State Orientation and Communications Bureau. We appreciate your insights on the news at this time.
Thank you for having me.